Hi everyone, this is Kiwiji, and I'm here to share my thoughts and views about background drawing. This video is a little bit different than my other videos because usually in my other videos I either do vlogs or I talk about how to do artist alley tips or how to make merchandise, but I wanted to do a couple of videos just about my thoughts on certain things. Consider this a little story time for you guys, a little story time to listen to, just to hang, get a drink, sit down, get some snacks, stuff them in your mouth, and listen to and just chill and watch this video. It's definitely a topic. Drawing backgrounds. Drawing backgrounds definitely has to be one of the things that every artist is a little bit afraid of. You know, they can be complicated, they can be detailed, there's a lot of perspective work drawn into it, but I honestly really enjoy doing backgrounds. I love drawing backgrounds. I think I have been drawing backgrounds since I was 13 years old and started doing art. I wasn't any good at it, but I did them anyway. So I wanted to just share a couple of thoughts on drawing backgrounds and tell you guys why I fell in love with drawing backgrounds, and hopefully this will maybe make you feel a little bit less scared about drawing backgrounds. So it all started, like I said, when I was 13 years old on my deviant art days. Oh my lord, a friend of mine, honestly I would credit her. I can't, we don't speak now. It's been many years, but I would definitely credit her to be the one that says, hey, you should add backgrounds to your drawing. So I was like, I'll put a couple of them up. But I was drawing lots and lots of Dragon Age stuff back then, and I met a lot of people in the Dragon Age community, and one of them said that I should add backgrounds to my drawings because it would give so much depth to the drawing. And honestly, at that age, I didn't really care about whether it looked good. I just wanted to do them, and I just added trees the way other people would, kids would draw trees, and added birds the way people would draw birds, and shockingly, the drawings actually did get better, as in there were depth to it. There you could tell that the character is definitely in a place, and you could tell what that place is, and yeah, so it's strange, but I think the thing about backgrounds is you're going to suck at them at first. No one ever starts drawing backgrounds and gets them right straight away. I think you have to accept the fact that when you start doing them, you're not going to be very great, but what's the harm in that? Nothing. You don't even have to post them. You don't even have to post them like I've posted them for the whole world to see, but you can just, draw them, and they're not gonna be great at first, but man, does the piece look well put together when you have a background in it. That's what I personally think. I just feel like they add so much to what the character is doing, and adds a lot of fun colors to it, and so on and so forth. So I moved on from that bold age of 13 where it didn't matter whether the drawing sucked or not. I just wanted to put them up and have fun. I moved on from that bold age, and I missed that age a little bit. And I ended up drawing a lot of characters with plain background, with plain colors at the back, and with lots of patterns and all that stuff like that. Everyone does that. There's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. Everyone does that. It's not the end of the world. But the thing that really sparked my love back for backgrounds would ironically be gacha cards. Now, if you don't know what gacha cards are, there are loads and loads of mobile games, and now Genshin Impact, there are gacha games where you get specific characters or specific cards, all digital, by the way, and you get and if you try if you try enough times, you might get an ultra rare. And ultra rare cards in mobile gacha games mostly come with an elaborate background, an elaborate design in the front, and those look great. They make you feel like wow, I really want that card because it's so elaborate, it's so detailed, it's so beautiful. That's why it's called an ultra rare. That's why they want you to spend your money on it. But like, I started feeling like I wanted all my art to look like those gacha cards. And that's when I started delving way back into doing backgrounds in my pieces. And let me tell you, after a huge gap and definitely not doing any studying or anything of the sort, I really sucked. But I did them anyway. I just wanted my art to start looking like the Love Live gacha cards or any gacha cards that you see in like mobile games with the full backgrounds, and the only way to do that is to start. And I definitely sucked at it, but the more I did them over and over again, the better I got at them. The more I started learning about perspective, and the more I started learning about tips and tricks, which I'm gonna cover in another video about. I wanna actually do a video about my top 3 tips to do backgrounds, but for now I just wanted to talk about why I love backgrounds. And like, I just started, the mindset just kicked in. I wanted my art to look like those gacha cards. I wanted my art to look like those cards where you go like, damn, I want to spend money on that card. I want to dip into my life savings and spend money on that card. And if you think that this is silly, look at Genshin Impact, because that's a wild ride. That's a wild ride. And yeah, so the thing about gacha cards for me is that it really sparked the love of backgrounds again. And I'm going to show loads and loads of art and progression on the screen that I started off doing those, and I did simplistic ones. You know, you gotta start small, you gotta start somewhere. So I did the classic, you know, just clouds in the background or trees in the background, like you know, like you can't see much in the background, or just a little bit of a background. You gotta dip your toes in somewhere, you know. You gotta start somewhere, and it's okay, because I can show you, and I probably have shown you lots and lots of pictures where I considered drawing a background, and it's just a little bit, just bits and pieces. And slowly I started moving towards those gacha cards I've always really wanted to have. And yeah. And the last thing that I feel that made me fall in love with backgrounds, like, is experimenting. You can tell in a lot of my earlier drawings, when you go on DeviantArt and search how to draw this or how to draw that, how to draw grass, how to paint grass, how to draw clouds, how to paint clouds, a lot of it is a very anime style, very anime like painting styles, or very detailed. There's a lot of painting in these tutorials, how to draw trees, how to draw clouds, how to draw ground, how to draw rocks. There's a lot of painting to all of those things. And you know what? I hate painting. I hate painting so much. I love doing line art. I love doing line art, and I love doing line art. I love adding details with my lines rather than adding details with painting and colors. And one of the things that really made me feel like wow, I actually just really started loving backgrounds again is finding a style that really vibed with me. And I started looking at like cartoons and comics, and so like my style is definitely developed into something a little bit more than just anime, because I definitely don't draw those anime backgrounds. I love drawing cartoon backgrounds or something a little bit more like stylized, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong way to draw something, and if you enjoy doing that, I say go for it. And yeah, so my art now is definitely looking much less than a gacha card, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. And I think that a lot of artists, when they start out and they go on DeviantArt and they type in how to draw this, how to draw backgrounds, it's a lot of painting, but there's nothing wrong with starting somewhere. And maybe one day I will move on from that simplistic style, from that drawing cartoon style. Maybe I will move on from that cartoon style and do something completely different, but for now this is what I like to do, and this is my background style, you know, very cartoonish, very stylized. I love those kind of things. I even did those kind of things when I went to school. I did architecture, and I loved drawing those type of drawings, even though my teachers didn't really like that very much. But all in all, that's the way it goes, you know. And that's just a really short video. I wanted to talk about how I fell in love with backgrounds, you know, like once I started doing them and realized that they weren't so difficult. I started just doing it bit by bit. No, the summary that I want to take away, that I want you guys to take away from this, is that I didn't dive in head first. You know, some people really fall in love with backgrounds, and once they start doing it, that's all they want to do. That's fair, but like for me, I wanted to use it to further push my art into something a little bit more detailed, something that I would admire. The way I started off doing backgrounds is I looked at all the art. I collect a lot of art, and you see from my previous videos, my whole room is covered head to toe in art. And honestly, I remember looking at these art pieces. I'm looking at them now, and quite a lot of my art senpais would use backgrounds to kind of like just give the drawings a little bit more depth to it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. They are not background artists. None of them would be consider themselves background artists, but they still added them in, and I think that's really awesome, you know. I just wanted to be like those senpais, and the more I worked and the more I practiced, the more I realized that backgrounds I'm not perfect at them. I'm not, but they're also, you know, like I feel like I'm getting better at them. More like it's like the way I see it is that it's like drawing hands. A lot of beginner artists start off and say that they hate drawing hands, so they always put it behind the back. Don't run away from that. I know that you do that. I know that we've all done that. We've all done the hands behind the back kind of thing, and like not really like, and like if it's not there, I don't have to draw it. But once you start doing hands, it's not that difficult. Or rather, the more you practice and the more you look at references, the more you look at things, it gets easier. And if you could do that with hands, you can do that with backgrounds. Why should it be any different? Of course, backgrounds are huge and daunting, but you can always look at references. You can always look at references to you can always be inspired by another person's composition and try to replicate what they've done. Like, oh, I really like how they've drawn this signpost. I'm gonna take this signpost and put it in here and add my own twist to it. You know, it's yeah, just the same way that you look at how to draw hands and feet. I gotta tell you, I'm not very good at drawing feet. I want to get better at it one day. But yeah, the more that we practice, the easier it gets. And yeah, pretty much too long didn't read. I fell in love with doing backgrounds when I was about 18, and it's because of gacha cards. I think gacha cards are a really great reference to look at, especially when you want to draw cute girls like me and you wanna add a little something spicy to your drawing. You want to add a little bit of spice there. Take a look at gacha cards. I'll include a link to a bunch of gacha cards that I look at sometimes for pose and background inspiration. Go ahead, go wild. And yeah, so that was just a little musing from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time from me. I will be coming back and doing another video, a more detailed explanation on the tips to draw backgrounds. But hey, if you watched this whole thing, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the, well, like if you come here and you watched it all, thank you so much. And you know what, this was really fun, and I would love to do more of these in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.